Now, it was the Election Commission decision to scrap off the by-polls in RK Nagar. The polls that were set to take place on 12th April will not take place now. And Election Commission has taken a strong cognizance to the fact there has been reports coming in of alleged voters bribing. Let's take our viewers through what exactly the Election Commission notice says this morning. This is the 29-page statement that Election Commission has released. Now, take a look at this. Calling upon the said 11 Dr. Radhakrishnan Nagar Assembly Constituency to elect member to the Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly shall stand rescinded forthwith. Now, this is the portion where the Election Commission has made it clear that it's been scrapped. The RK Nagar by-polls have been scrapped, and this is after the allegations of cash for vote scandal. It all started with the income tax raiding. The Tamil Nadu Health Minister coming out with a link of alleged 90 crore to be paid to the voters. Take a listen into the reactions that we're getting this morning, and also TTV Dinakaran speaking out, crying conspiracy.
We wouldn't say we are happy with the decision because we were very confident of the victory irrespective of this money push into the constituency. But what we want is that the action should be taken against all the persons responsible. As pointed out earlier, the entire cabinet is involved. The entire cabinet should owe moral responsibility and resign. I don't think they will do that. So the appropriate authorities to take severe action against them. This is unprecedented in the history of Tamil Nadu. Just 200 crores pumped into a single constituency for the power games played by both these factions. We want a CBI probe. Yes, in fact, we want a CBI probe so that the entire role would be revealed. DMK, we have never done that. We will not do that. That is a preposterous allegation just to divert the attention. The evidence that has been circulating in the social media and the other press clearly reveal the involvement of the cabinet, the entire cabinet of the state of Tamil Nadu. So the polls have to be cancelled and the government has to go. What moral legs they have to stand on after these allegations?
My colleagues Akshay and Akshita joining us this morning. Akshay, first coming to you. Now, we've seen TTV Dinakaran this morning saying it is a political conspiracy against me. In fact, the Election Commission did not want me to win from the constituency, and that's why the polls have been scrapped. What are the reactions that we're getting from the other factions?
Well, Devina, it is interesting and funny, but the OPS faction seem to be relatively silent about what is happening. In fact, one thing that Mafoy Pandirajan had been repeating all through last week was that he wanted the election to go on, but the candidature of TTV Dinakaran to be cancelled because he was saying that he's been distributing money and there are evidences against him that the OPS faction has already submitted to the Election Commission while submitting a complaint. So they wanted the cancellation of the candidature but not the assembly election by polls. So this will be a big blow to them as well because they were hoping to contest and prove that they are the actual AIADMK, the actual Amma legacy that is left here. But unfortunately, that is not happening. But, the political drama has been only expanding and evolving over a lot of time now. We have already seen how the last week has been panning with the IT raid and everything. And now it will be a tough call with if the CBI involvement as the DMK has been requesting. If a CBI probe goes in, it will be much dramatic than what it is now, Devina.
Absolutely. Let me go across to Akshita as well. But before that, let's take our viewers through how the RK Nagar constituency has fared in 2016 for AIADMK. Their bastion since 1977. 56.8% polls that were 56.8% voters had given in their mandate for Jayalalitha in 2016, according to the India Votes website. And it's interesting because you had Jayalalitha emerging victorious with about 97,000 votes, and that's exactly where we had seen the fight panning out for RK Nagar. Now, Akshita, you've been able to go to the constituency and speak to the people there. What are their reactions on these alleged cash for vote bribery scandal, and how are they looking at the by-poll being scrapped by Election Commission?
Devina, when I went to the RK Nagar constituency, what you see is so much of political activity. You got booths every 50 meters. The OPS camp, the EPS factions most prominent really in that crowd. Several DMK camps also present in the RK Nagar constituency. Among the voters, I think they are breathing a sigh of relief because it was very clear that there was a lot of bribery, there was a lot of payouts taking place in the constituency. You look at the amount of cadre present in the ground, you know how much importance really each of these camps were giving to this particular constituency. But I would say the voters are largely relieved that the Election Commission has stepped in, because you saw the number of videos that came out alleging that these voters were being bribed by different camps. When we spoke to some of these voters as well, they too said that yes, you know, that is the case. We've seen so many people being bribed that we feel that it won't be a fair and free election. So largely the sentiment, not just in RK Nagar but across Tamil Nadu, is that they're happy the Election Commission has cracked the whip, because this was much needed action. They felt that this would be a largely biased election, not really the people's sentiment but bought out sentiments by parties themselves, enforcing their stand, enforcing their opinion really on the people.
All right, be with me, Akshay and Akshita. Interesting development that we're looking at this morning is also how the former Chief Election Commissioner has spoken to India today and what he believes could be the next step by the Election Commission, because now it's time for investigation. Let's take our viewers through what exactly happened on Friday as well, where the Income Tax Department first raided the Tamil Nadu Health Minister, and now today he's been questioned by the Income Tax Department again, and he's not alone. Sarath Kumar, popular actor and politician, has also been called in. Let's take you through it, that how exactly this case has panned out, and it's forced Election Commission to even scrap the RK Nagar by-polls.
No end to the high voltage drama as Jazz airs battle it out in a bastion RK Nagar. Now watch on your screen IT raids at Tamil Nadu Health Minister Vijay Bhaskar's house. Thalavai Sundaram, the embattled health minister's confidant, is walking out of the house holding a bunch of papers. Check out how he discreetly passes the papers to a servant donning a white shirt. A vigilant CRPF Jawan spots the exchange, pulls the minister's aide away for questioning. But right then, a man claiming to be Vijay Bhaskar's driver snatches the documents from the servant. Dodges the Jawans at the gate and throws the paper over the wall. And amidst all this commotion, an AIADMK cadre picks up the paper and walks away. While the IT officials open the lid on the 89 crore rupees money trail allegedly spent on the RK Nagar by-polls, the ruling party claims the documents were mere posters.
There are three key questions that now need answers. Number one, why did senior ministers barge in during an ongoing IT raid? Number two, what was in those documents that a supporter ran out with and threw towards the cadre outside Vijay Bhaskar's residence? And third, and possibly the most important, what is Mr. Vijay Bhaskar hiding? With camera person Prasad, this is Akshita Nandagopal in Chennai for India Today.
So a fresh low in Tamil Nadu politics, but it's not the first time, interestingly, that Election Commission has scrapped by-polls. Now let's take you through what are the options that we're looking at the Election Commission decision. We've spoken to T.S. Krishnamurthy, former Chief Election Commissioner, who said that present election system needs to be relooked. Of course, there needs to be a reform as well. Urgent need for electoral reforms is what's suggested. But at the same time, he said that Election Commission doesn't really have the power to de-recognize any party, and that's one of the major reforms that EC should have teeth to crack down if there are allegations of cash for vote that comes to light. Also, Election Commission doesn't have power to scrap not only the political parties but act against the errant leaders. All they can do is submit a report, and it's for the investigative authorities to next take reaction. Take a listen into what he told India Today.
Has got a Brahmastra which is called the postponement of the election or cancellation of the election. We call it as Brahmastra because only if the situation is very bad where we cannot conduct a free and fair election, the Election Commission comes to the conclusion that the election may have to be postponed or deferred. So in this case, obviously they had necessary reports, but this only illustrates the need for urgent political reform, electoral reforms to take place. If this sort of things going to happen frequently, the present electoral system needs to be completely relooked, and we need a lot of electoral reform to take place.
Now, India Today has been getting you the biggest voices since morning on RK Nagar bypolls being scrapped. Now, joining us is the expelled AIADMK MP, Sasikala Pushpa. Ms. Pushpa, thank you for speaking to India Today. Your first response on the decision taken by Election Commission and what we've heard, TTV Dinakaran this morning saying it's a conspiracy against me. They did not want me to win from RK Nagar bypoll, so it's a conspiracy to scrap it off.
Actually, it is clearly understood that the ruling party minister, through the IT raid, it is clearly known to the world that they are corrupted, and those money have been pumped for RK Nagar constituency by-election. The evidence is there with the Election Commission's 29 pages report. So there is no conspiracy. Everything is clear. And Mr. TTV Dinakaran to be taken into custody by the Election Commission, he should be arrested. And 6 years term, he should not be there as a candidate for any election. This, if the punishment given stringently, then only everybody will afraid that this kind of activity should not be done in the country. This should be a lesson to every politician that the voters cannot be diverted through money, I think. So I congratulate Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji. He has taken right steps in the right time. Through IT right, he shown the world that...
But Ms. Pushpa, shouldn't even the Chief Minister be answerable? Because 89 crore of alleged documents being found for cash for vote to the voters with Tamil Nadu Health Minister and his associates, and that's an incriminating evidence the Election Commission has taken note of. Shouldn't the Chief Minister be held accountable as well?
Yeah, certainly Chief Minister is accountable, and some senior ministers have been involved in the activity. The evidence have been taken. So through this thing, I request the Honorable Prime Minister to recommend the Honorable President to evoke Article 356, and new election should be there in the state of Tamil Nadu, and the President's rule to be there if we are in real democracy.
It's a big story that is coming in with Sasikala Pushpa saying now President's rule should be imposed given the scrapping of RK Nagar bypolls, strong evidence that the Election Commission says it has of cash for vote scandal. But Ms. Pushpa, shouldn't the start be made now by Tamil Nadu Health Minister being sacked, being shown the door? Because the Election Commission taking the step means that there is a truth to all the videos, to all the allegations, to all the material that's been recovered from the Income Tax Department.
Yeah, it is clearly shown through media, and all the evidence is there with the Income Tax Department, where many ministers involved, Gundaism, Rowdyism, everything is going on there. Law and order also problem. Yesterday, there was a very big problem at RK Nagar. So my question is, why don't we impose President's rule?
Absolutely. Ms. Pushpa, thanks for joining us this morning with all those reactions coming in. This is another big voice that we've been able to get you on India Today. A call for a President's rule. Have to take a short break on that note, but news and updates continue on the other side. Be with us.